Praise the Lord. Hi everybody. You are watching Namo Gurugulu YouTube channel. Dear students, this is a very special video on three-dimensional geometry. In this class, I'm going to discuss all the main basics of three-dimensional geometry. Okay, I'm going to start this from your first PUC concepts because this is the continuation of what you have already studied in the first PUC called three-dimensional geometry. Okay, so if we start from there, then I believe that you would definitely understand three-dimensional geometry in a better way. Okay, one sincere request from my side, dear students, is kindly watch through the video till the end. Okay, only then you will understand the concepts in detail, so that once you start solving the problems or even starting, you might have seen the derivations also, that concept would be very easy for you to understand. Okay, so once again, watch the video till the end. At the same time, make the notes of the video in detail, okay, so that when you start solving the problems, you will easily understand the concept. Okay, so let us not waste our time. Let's directly go on to the topic. So let's start three-dimensional geometry and introduction. Okay, so what do we see in introduction is to locate a point's position in a place. Okay, so we are starting with two-dimensional geometry and we shall directly go on to three-dimensional. Okay, so to locate a point's position in a place, we require two intersecting mutually perpendicular lines, okay, called the coordinate axis. Okay, it is just like, think about your x-axis and your y-axis. Okay, this you have already seen it in the previous class things. You know this in detail, isn't it? So think about your x-axis and y-axis meeting perpendicularly. So if you so this is your coordinate x and y axis. Okay, so this is your two-dimensional geometry. Here you can see here two mutually lines are meeting perpendicularly, meeting or intersecting, we say. Okay, so the point of intersection, we know it's called the origin, and generally we take the horizontal line or the horizontal axis as the x-axis and the vertical axis as the y-axis. Alva? So we have already seen that, and we need this information to move on to the three-dimensional geometry. Okay. So this was about a coordinate system, but here we are going to see the representation of a point in a space. Okay, to locate the position of a point in a space, we require three mutually perpendicular intersecting planes. Are you following? So a point in space has three coordinate system. Dear students, this is one of the very important concepts here, because when two perpendicular lines intersect, we get the coordinate axis. When three mutually perpendicular planes intersect, remember in the coordinate axis, two lines intersect. So in space, you will get three mutually perpendicular planes intersect. Okay, now this is very difficult for any person to draw the diagram of three-dimensional axis on the board or even in a paper. The reason is the paper is a plane which is two-dimensional, but the diagram would be a three-dimensional figure. Okay, so I will try my best to explain this for you. Just consider, now this is your one plane. Okay, I'm considering one plane here. Okay, I'm considering another plane, let me say. So I'm considering one plane and another plane. So this is my intersection of two mutually perpendicular planes. You can see here, for this plane is coming horizontal at 90 degrees directly for you. Okay, so please be careful. So I have one horizontal plane, so one vertical plane. Okay, is it clear? So this is the intersection of two planes, but actually I need the third plane also. So the third plane will be again perpendicular to both. Okay, so the third plane would be somewhat like this. So it will go from this point and it will actually come back over here. So you can think here, so this is your coordinate axis. three-dimensional geometry. So you can see here in the upper place you have 4 octants. Okay, 4 portions you can see here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, in the lower base you will be having 8 equal portions. Okay, so one equal portion is called an octant. Okay, so I'm going to explain that in detail. Please have this concept in mind. Okay, so before going to three-dimensional space, let us go to the coordinate system, where, as I have already told you, in the coordinate system you will get the intersection of two perpendicular lines. So let me say this is the horizontal line, the other one is the vertical line. Okay, is it clear? So we know this, and usually the horizontal line you call it as an x-axis. X, O, or O is the point of contact of both the lines, and this is x dash, that is the negative part of x-axis. Similarly, this is y, O, y dash. Okay, now you can see here two mutually perpendicular lines will divide the plane into 4 equal what? Quadrants. We know this. This is the first quadrant we say. Why do you call this as quadrant? Quadra means actually 4. Because the plane is divided into 4 equal parts, so you call it as first quadrant. Similarly, this is second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. You have been seeing this from your 10th standard at the same time. So if you take any point, okay, let me take a point here. Okay, so let me take a point here P, which is x comma y. Okay, so how do you represent this point on the x-axis and y-axis? So one thing is you draw a line perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, so what happens here is this distance, this perpendicular distance from P to the x-axis will give my y coordinate, and this point, let me take this point as M. Okay, so this distance is called as x. Okay, therefore you can think of OM is the x coordinate and PM is nothing but the y coordinate. Is it clear? You know this. This is not a very big things here. This is not something which you don't know. You have already seen this. Okay, and also know that if you join this OP, you call this as the distance of the point from the origin. Okay, and we also know this OP is nothing but which will be the radius of the circle, which will get x square plus y square. Okay, this much is enough for me from coordinate axis. Okay, now along with that you have to remember few more basic points so that we will go on to the 3D geometry. Okay, so what is the first thing is equation of x-axis in the coordinate system. Now what is equation of x-axis? Means equation of x-axis is y is equal to 0. You should always remember this. If they ask you what is the equation of x-axis in a Cartesian system, it is y is equal to 0. Similarly, equation of y-axis means, yes, you have already guessed it, x is equal to 0. What do you mean by this? Means on x-axis y will be 0 and on y-axis x will be 0. Okay. Now one more thing is, now what is any point on x-axis? This is like equations. Now if you take any point, let me take this is point, there I've taken another point, I've taken another point. So any point on x-axis will be of the form, yes, you guess? So it will be of the form a comma 0, because only x coordinate will be there, y coordinate will be 0. I repeat, any point on x-axis is a comma 0. Similarly, any point on y-axis. So any point on y-axis will be, x coordinate will be 0. So y coordinate I can call it as b. Is it clear? Or if you want, you can call it as small y. One does not matter because it is just a constant. I repeat, any point on x-axis means in Cartesian system, you take it as a comma 0. And any point on y-axis means you take it as 0 comma b. Is it clear? Fine. Now moving on, now we know this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay, to x-axis you can draw any lines, so many lines parallel to x-axis. Okay, what would be the equation of that line? Remember, equation of any line parallel to x-axis would be y is equal to some constant. Let me take it as c. Okay, remember, equation of any line parallel to x-axis will be y is equal to c. Okay, the same thing you have seen this in relation functions by the name of constant function. Okay, now going on to the next equation, equation of any line parallel to y-axis. So parallel to y-axis means it will be perpendicular to x-axis. We know x and y are perpendicular. So any line parallel to y-axis is of the form, yes, so it will be of the form x is equal to constant. So if you want, I can take it as d. Okay, so these are the important points which you have to note, particularly in the concept of coordinate system. Okay, so this was the required points. Now we are going to move on to the most important thing, which is three-dimensional space. Okay. Okay, students. So moving on, coordinate axis and coordinate planes in 3D space. 3D means three-dimensional space. Okay, ready? Okay, let's start. Now look here. Whatever the frames which I told you, it's very difficult as I told you. ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಏನದು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ತೋರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಲುಕ್ ಲೈಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, 3 ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲಿ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ intersect at right angles. They intersect 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect. Okay, so this will give my coordinate planes in 3D. Okay, so what is the explanation for this? So the explanation for this goes like this. Okay, what do you mean by? Now look here, the 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect at a point O. Okay, all the 3. Now I just showed you by intersecting the planes. Okay, one is horizontal, vertical, and also perpendicular to it. Okay, I showed you with cards. Remember, the 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect at a point O along the 3 perpendicular lines. You should always remember, when 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect, they intersect along a line. So now look here, intersecting of 3 mutually perpendicular planes, plane number 1, plane number 2, and this would be plane number 3. Okay, so you can look here, when 3 planes intersect, you get 3 lines where they meet along 3 perpendicular lines. Is it clear? So this would be my x-axis and this would be my y-axis. Okay, so this would be my z-axis. Is it clear? So that's what I'm going to say here. The 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect at a point O along 3 mutually perpendicular lines. So the 3 mutually perpendicular planes I've showed in red, blue, and green colors. But the 3 mutually perpendicular lines along which they meet, I've given it in black. Okay. So along 3 perpendicular lines, x o x dash, y o y dash, z o z dash. Now dear students, please remember, this would be my x-axis or axis number 1, axis number 2. Actually this is not x-axis, because if you look, ಇದನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಗೂ ವೈಗೂ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೀಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಇದು. Is it clear? So the axis x-axis is nothing but this axis which is perpendicular to both x and y. So ಇದು ಈ ಥರ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So it is, as I told you, it is very difficult to show this in the space. ಒಂದು ಶೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬರೆದು ತೋರ್ಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಥರ ಹೋಗೋ ಲೈನ್ನ ಈ ಥರ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Is it clear? Okay, now understand. So this we call it as, these lines are called x, y and z axis respectively. Okay, now these lines and the planes constitute the rectangular coordinate system. Okay, 3D li ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೀವು ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ 3 ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್, ಇದನ್ನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಝೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. Please remember it. Okay, but ಈ planes ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, because this is the introduction part. I'm explaining you how 3 mutually perpendicular planes intersect. Okay, so this is actually all about your first PUC mathematics. Okay, so shall we move on? Right. So the planes XOY, YOZ and XOZ. So actually O is nothing but the origin. We know that. So the planes XOY, YOZ and ZOX are called the XY plane, YZ plane and XZ plane respectively. So very simple. XY idre XY plane, YOZ idre YZ plane, ZOX indicates XZ plane. XZ or ZX both are same. XZ plane respectively. Remember, the point O is called the origin of the coordinate system. Okay, this is a very simple thing. Now next, the three coordinate planes divide the space into 8 equal parts known as octants. Okay, so coordinate system na 8 equal part agi divide agute. So that is, each part is called an octant. Okay, now you are all science students, so you know the meaning of octave. Oct means 8. Okay, so since it is equally divided into 8 parts, so each part is called an octant. Okay, so remember, you have already seen this in your first PUC. We have 8 octants naming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I'm going to explain how the coordinates will be in each axis. In each octant, how will be the points or the coordinates of any point. Okay. Before I go to the coordinates of octants, let us see the coordinates of quadrants. So in the first quadrant, we know both are positive. In the second quadrant, x is positive, negative and y is positive. In the third quadrant, both are negative. And in the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So this is how the coordinates are in the two-dimensional space. Okay, on the same line, ide tara you can write the coordinates of any point in space which has 8 octants. Okay, so how do you start up with? It's very easy to remember. And one more thing is, you cannot mix your coordinates in any other octants. Okay, now ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರೆಂಟಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರ್ಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಹೇಗಾಗೋದಿಲ್ವೋ, ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಎನಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸರ್? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮೆನಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ 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 ಈಸಿ. So how we know? Now look here. The first, in two-dimensional geometry, the coordinates are, first quadrant is plus, the second quadrant is minus. So the second quadrant is minus plus, the third quadrant is minus, and the fourth quadrant is plus minus. Is it not? Both are plus, minus into minus, plus into minus. So write it twice. Again, plus and plus. Okay, minus and plus, minus and minus, plus and minus. Is it not? So first ಎರಡು coordinates ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. Now what about the third one? Very simple. For the first 4, take positive, that is the upper portion where you will have positive axis for z, and that for the next 4, take the negative where z will be negative. So this is how you get the coordinates of any point in any given 8 octants. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? So very easy to remember. First, ಫಾರ್ 2D ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ 2 ಸರಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇಸ್? ನೌ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ XOYZ, ಅಂದರೆ XOYZ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, because all are positive. Now whichever plane is negative, you just take dash, that's all, because this is X dash OYZ. Okay, similarly, so this is nothing but X dash O Y dash Z, because X and Y both are negative. This is X O Y dash Z, and this is X O Y and Z dash. Okay, and this is X dash O Y and Z dash, and this is X dash O Y dash Z dash, and finally X O Y dash Z dash. Okay, so this is how the planes is divided. This you need not break your head much. This was actually needed for first PUC, but you have to know this, okay, so that we can go further. Okay. Now look here, let's go to the next concept, coordinates of a point in a space. This is very important. If you consider any point in space, how do you get x and y? There, you just draw a line parallel to x-axis. Here, actually you don't stop here. You actually draw up till here. ಇದು 3D ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರ್ಸೋಕೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರು ಹೋಗಿ ಬರೋ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್. ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬರೀತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೈ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, let me take this point as B. Okay, so always remember OA will be treated as X. Okay, AB will be actually parallel to OA irute. So this distance AB will be taken as Y, and this point P illinda B ge perpendicular distance ಏನು ಬರೀತಿರೋ, this is taken as Z. Please remember, okay. ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಥರ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪಿ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ವೈ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಝೆಡ್, ಜನರಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಓ ಎ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಎ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ವೈ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಿ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಝೆಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ your OP, what is OP? Distance of the point from the origin. Okay, so distance of the point from the origin, we all know it. Distance formula ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. OP is nothing but square root of, there you took x square plus y square, isn't it? Here this one you took it as x square plus y square. Here you will take plus z square also, because there are 3 lines here, x, y and z axis. 3 axis ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ x, y and z axis ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಿ. 2 ಇದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ x square plus y square ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರಿ. That is 2D. This is 3D, so you will get another axis z. Okay, is it clear? Now next I'm going to explain you very important points which you have to remember, which will be useful for problem solving. Okay, let's start. One thing is, any point on x-axis, remember this is 3-dimensional geometry. Okay, 3D ಅಲ್ಲಿ if you want any point on x-axis, this will be of the form a, 0, 0. x-axis ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದರ y ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು z ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಎರಡು 0 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, the y and z coordinates will be 0 on x-axis. Okay, yes, Suchitra, can you guess what is any point on y-axis? Yeah, so because it is y-axis, so your x coordinate will be 0, y-x coordinate, let me take it as b, and z coordinate is 0. Okay, yes, Aishwarya, what about any point on z-axis? Very similar, x is 0, y is 0, z, let me take a constant. Okay, you need not take c only, c is nothing but a constant. Is it clear? Okay, now next one more thing, any point on xy plane. What about xy plane? Axis is different, plane is different. So if you want any point on xy plane, then it will be a, b, 0. Means x and y coordinate will be there, z coordinate will be 0. Similarly, any point on yz plane is, your x is absent, so whichever axis is absent, take it as 0. So y coordinate generally let us take it b, and z coordinate let us take it c. Okay, similarly, any point on xz plane is a, 0, c. Okay, you have to remember these points to solve even problems with respect to CET. Okay, very simple, isn't it? Okay, shall we move on? Let us go to the next concept called the distance formula. Okay, these are all basics of first PUC. Distance formula means, if you take any point, let me take P, which is x1, y1, z1, and point Q, which is x2, y2, and z2. Okay, so if there are 2 points in a space, remember this is space. Now how do you find the distance between 2 points? So this is given by the distance formula. So PQ is nothing but square root of, you have already proved this in the first PUC. I'm not going to give the proof for this. So PQ is nothing but, you can write x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square with the root for the entire thing. So this is the This is how you find the distance between any 2 points in space. Okay, and one more thing, the same formula you can also write it as PQ is equal to square root of x1 minus x2 whole square. Also you can take, because you have the square outside, your x1 minus x2 and x2 minus x1 are negative sign difference. So negative square becomes positive. So both are same. So plus, you can also write y1 minus y2 whole square plus z1 minus z2 whole square. Okay, but both are correct, both are equivalent, but generally for a formula wise you have to remember this: PQ is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square, and z2 minus z1 whole square. Okay, and one more point, if suppose just I told you now, distance of any point P, if there is any point P and its distance from the origin. So let me take the point P as this, which is x, y and z. So if you want the distance of this point from the origin, we know origin is 0, 0, 0 and point is P. Okay, so distance between any the point origin, distance of the point from the origin is actually is given by OP. This is nothing but square root of, see, if you take x minus 0, it is simply x square, plus y minus 0, that is nothing but y square, plus z minus 0, that is nothing but z square. Okay, very simple formula. Proof is not required. Let us move on to the next concept. Let's go to the next concept, dear students. The concept is the section formula, which would be the last concept with respect to first PUC 3D. Okay, so you consider 2 points P, which is x1, y1, z1, and Q, which is x2, y2, z2. So let me say there is another point R. Okay, so if I call this point as x, y, z. Okay, now if this R divides the line joining the points PQ in the ratio m is to n internally, what would be the coordinates of R? Okay, so we have already proved this in the first PUC. I'm not going to give the proof for this. Let us directly write the formula. Okay, so for internal division, R is given by S. We know that mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n. Similarly, my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n, and mz2 plus nz1 divided by m plus n. This is the coordinates of the point which divides the line joining in the ratio m is to n. Okay, the same section formula you have seen in the chapter of vectors in vector form. This is 3D form, Cartesian form, that is in vector form. Okay, in the similar way, if R divides PQ externally in the ratio m is to n, then the formula is again very simple, only change is plus is replaced by minus. So mx2 minus nx1 divided by m minus n, comma my2 minus ny1 divided by m minus n, and mz2 minus nz1 divided by m minus n. Okay, fine. Next, let us go for the midpoint formula. What do you mean by midpoint? So if the midpoint formula occurs if m is equal to n, okay, means if this m value and n value are equal, then R would be the midpoint of P and Q. Okay, therefore the coordinates of the midpoint R would be, so R is equal to, we get this result from here itself. If m is equal to n, you will get mx2 plus mx1 divided by 2m, where if you take m cancel and take m common and cancel, you will get the distance formula is x1 plus x2 by 2. Similarly, y1 plus y2 by 2 and z1 plus z2 divided by 2. Okay, so this is the midpoint formula. Okay, going on to the last one, which is the centroid formula. Now, what is actually the centroid? Okay, now consider that 3 points P, Q and R, x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2 and x3, y3, z3. Okay, now I want to find the coordinates of the centroid actually. Now, usually centroid is given by G, Now I will write the formula, but you have to know what do you mean by centroid. Okay, centroid is the point of contact of three medians of the triangle. So what is actually the median? Median is from point P, you join the midpoint of the opposite to side. Okay, so from this point, draw the midpoint, join the midpoint of the opposite side. Similarly, from Q, join the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay. Similarly, I will join the midpoint of the opposite side from R. I will get a common point. Okay, I'll get a common point of intersection of three medians. This point is known as the centroid. Okay, so the coordinates of this point centroid is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. Remember, here you will have 3 points. So it is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, comma, y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3, and z1 plus z2 plus z3 divided by 3. Okay, remember, write down the formula in a systematic way. Is it clear? So this coinciding with the point Q, don't worry about this. So the centroid formula is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3, and z1 plus z2 plus z3 divided by 3. Okay, so this is all about your first PUC three-dimensional basics. Now we are going on to the main required agenda, which is three-dimensional geometry. Okay, so for that one, we are going to start the concept with the main concept called direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. Okay. Okay, students. So let's pay attention. From here onwards, I will be teaching you the basics of 3D geometry from second PUC. Okay. So I will be now we shall discuss about direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. Before that, now let us assume your x-axis and y-axis in 2 dimension. Okay, now if I consider a line, let me take a line here. This will definitely make some angle with x-axis and another angle with y-axis, isn't it? With positive x-axis. Remember, I am considering the angle made by this line with positive x-axis and positive y-axis. Okay, so I can consider the angle made by the line with positive x-axis as alpha and positive y-axis as beta. In the same way, here we are going to see the three-dimensional geometry where you will be having the 3 axes. So let me say that my z-axis would be perpendicular to it. So this is how my axis would be. Are you following? So this is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. The angle, look here, this is the angle, if I consider this x-axis, angle made by this line with x-axis, y-axis, z-axis is like this one. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So this is what we are going to see in direction cosines. So let me consider a Cartesian system where x, y and z axis are here. Okay. And I'm considering a line L which is making an angle alpha with x-axis, beta with positive y-axis and gamma with positive z-axis. I'm going to explain the definition of direction cosine in a simple statement. So the simple statement is the direction cosines are nothing but your L, M and N's. What are these L, M and N's? So these elements are nothing but the cos of the angle made by the line with positive x, y and z axis respectively. Means L is equal to cos of angle made by the line with x axis, means cos alpha. Similarly, M is equal to cos beta and N is equal to cos gamma. Is it clear? If a line makes an angle alpha, beta and gamma with the positive direction of x, y and z axis, then the direction cosines of this line, remember, usually direction cosines we can call it as DCs. Okay? And direction ratios, we generally call it as DRs. Okay? So the DCs is given by elements. Okay? So elements, L is nothing but cos alpha, M is nothing but cos beta and N is nothing but cos gamma. Okay, so now we have already seen in 1 mark questions, if a line makes an angle 30 degree, 60 degree and 45 degree with positive x-axis, find its DCs, they say. So L is equal to cos 30, M is equal to cos 60 and N is equal to cos 45. We have already seen that in 1 mark questions. Okay, so if you have any doubts, please go and check back there. Okay, because this is all about explaining the theory. I'm not going to solve any problems here. Okay, so we're going to solve problems in the next classes. Okay, going on, there is another note here. Remember, any given line in space can be extended in two opposite directions. Remember, so this is the line in positive x-axis. If I extend, I'll get in the negative x, y and z axis also. So that is why a line given in space can be extended in two opposite directions, and so it has two sets of DCs. Remember, DCs you will be having, what I gave you is just one set of DC. The other one will be actually minus cos alpha, minus cos beta, minus cos gamma. Okay, that is why usually we consider in problems L is equal to plus or minus cos alpha, M is equal to plus or minus cos beta, and N is equal to plus or minus cos gamma. This is while working the problems. Okay, but for definition part, let us keep it as it is. Let us not disturb it. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಡಿ ಸಿಸ್ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಎರಡು ಜೋಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ವಿತ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಜೊತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಜೊತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಯೂಶಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಬರೋ ಡಿ ಸಿಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ದ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ಡಿ ಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್? ಸೊ ಎನಿ 3 numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines of a line. So DRs are nothing but numbers which are proportional to DCs, okay, are called direction ratios of a line. I repeat, any 3 numbers which are proportional to the DCs of a line are called DRs of the line. Very simple. Okay, now remember, if L, M, N are DCs of a line, ಯಾವತ್ತು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, DCs ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ L, M, N ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. DRs we consider it as ABCs. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ DRs of a line ನ ABC ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, 3 numbers which are proportional to DCs ಅಂದರೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, A will be lambda times L, B will be lambda times M, and C will be lambda times N. Okay, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ A by B, okay, sorry, A by L, sorry, A by L will be same as B by M, that is same as C by N. So that value will be a constant value which is called a lambda. Here I am considering a positive constant value lambda. You need not always be positive. Lambda ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವೇ ಇರಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ದೇ ಆರ್ 3 numbers which are proportional to your DCs. ಓಕೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಕೆಲವು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವು ಗಾಬರಿ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್, ನಾಟ್ ಡಿ ಸಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್. So remember students, A by L is equal to B by M, that is equal to C by N, that is nothing but lambda, where lambda can be taken as a constant. Okay, now I'm going to give you some important concepts which is required for 1 mark. Okay, now note down this formula, dear students. We know LMN are DCs of a line. For any line, your sum of the squares of the DCs will always be 1. Means L square plus M square plus N square will always be equal to 1. Please note down this, a very important formula. Okay, sometimes it is useful to solve the 1-marker questions, but you should remember, okay, but A square plus B square plus C square need not be equal to 1. It is not equal to 1 always. Okay, but this is always equal. Okay, therefore we just wrote down. Okay, remember, L is nothing but, just remember what we wrote. Actually L is nothing, if A is equal to lambda L, then L is nothing but A by lambda. Similarly, M is nothing but B by lambda, and C is nothing but, N is nothing but C by lambda, isn't it? So using this, let me take this as equation 1. Okay, what is L? L is nothing but A times lambda A I can take. So lambda times A square plus lambda times B whole square plus lambda C whole square. This is nothing but 1. ಇದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ sometimes they'll give you the DRs and ask you to DCs. So when DRs are given, how to find out the DCs? So that is why we need this. So here you will be having lambda square A square plus lambda square B square plus lambda square C square is nothing but 1. So lambda square is common in all the terms. If you take away the lambda square, you will get A square plus B square plus C square, that is nothing but 1. Okay, therefore your lambda square will be 1 divided by A square plus B square plus C square. Okay, therefore your lambda will be taking square root on both sides. I'll get plus or minus 1 divided by, actually it is square root of A square plus B square plus C square. Please remember this. Therefore, my DCs will be, L is equal to, what is L actually? As I told you, please remember this. L is equal to lambda into L is equal to A, or L is equal to A divided by lambda. Similarly, L is equal to, I'm going to write it as A divided by lambda. This is nothing but plus or minus. So L will be plus or minus A divided by lambda value is actually 1 divided by. So 1 is multiplied by A divided by root of A square plus B square plus C square. Similarly, M will be B by lambda. This is nothing but plus or minus B divided by root of A square plus B square plus C square, and N is nothing but C divided by lambda, that is nothing but plus or minus C divided by square root of A square plus B square plus C square. Okay, so if they give you the DRs, then this is how you would find out the DCs. Okay, ನಿಮಗೆ 1 mark ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ A ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ B ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ C ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಸೇಮ್. Okay, I think for 1 mark question it is better you solve whatever I've taught you in the previous method. Okay, both you will get the same answer. Okay, please remember this. When DRs are given, this is how you find out the DCs, where ABCs will be DRs and elements will be DCs. Okay. Now let us check what would be the direction cosines of x-axis. Okay, usually LMN will be nothing but cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Okay, now this is nothing but cos. What is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis? Yavattu nenpitkolli, x-axis with x-axis, the angle made by is 0. So this would be cos 0. X-axis with y-axis makes the angle 90 degrees. So beta will be 90, and similarly angle made by z-axis is also 90 degrees. And we all know cos 0 is 1, but cos 90 is 0 and 0. Okay, so this is the direction cosines of x-axis. Similarly, the direction cosines of y-axis is given by, ಇದನ್ನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು 1 mark questions ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, but I am giving the explanations now. So if it is y-axis, then y-axis will make an angle 90 degree with x-axis, 0 with y-axis, and 90 degree with z-axis. Okay, so that is nothing but cos 90 is once again 0, cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0. On the same basis, we are going to write the direction cosines of z-axis. Okay, so the direction cosines of z-axis also very similar. Let me take it as LMN. This is nothing but cos x-axis will make z-axis with x-axis angle is 90 degrees. Z and y angle is 90 degrees, and z with z angle is 0 degrees. So this is nothing but cos 90 is 0, again 0, it is 1. Okay, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. One is very important question. DCs of x-axis. If you directly write lmn is equal to 100, you will get 1 marks. Y-axis ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 010 ಬರೀರಿ. Z-axis ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 001 ಬರೀರಿ. Okay, it has already been asked. 3 question ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Please be careful. Okay, along with this, I want to give you another note. This would be useful for your CET also. Okay, so please remember this. Direction cosines of any line parallel to x-axis. Okay, now there is a difference between x-axis on x-axis and any line parallel to x-axis. ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, x-axis with x-axis, the angle made is also 0. Any line parallel to x-axis, the angle made by them is also 0 because the lines are parallel. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ I am taking parallel lines. So direction cosines of any line parallel to x-axis means again it is LMN. So line x-axis ke parallel ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ angle made by x-axis would be 0, but that will definitely, it will still make the angle 90 degree with y-axis and 90 degree with z-axis. So it is still 1 0 0 because cos 0 is 1 and cos 90 is 0. ಅದೇ ತರ you can write the direction cosines of any line parallel to y-axis would be cos 90 degrees, cos 0 degrees and cos 90 degrees. So this would be nothing but 0, 1 and 0. Finally, direction cosines of any line parallel to z-axis is LMN. That is nothing but cos 90 because any line z-axis ke parallel idre x-axis jote 90 degree irutte. So similarly, cos 90 and this is cos 0. So this would be same as the DCs of x-axis. DCs of x-axis antandru onde, DCs of any line parallel to x-axis andru onde, the values would be same. Okay, so please remember this, which would be useful for your problem solving. Okay, now look here. Now think of any line passing through 2 points. If there is a line which is passing through 2 points whose coordinates are x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2, then what would be the drs of the line joining 2 points? Okay, if a single line is there, drs is just a x, y and z coefficients. But if ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ABCs, drs are denoted by ABCs. If the line joining 2 points kotre, the drs are given by x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. Generally we take this way, or you can also take the drs are ABCs, which is nothing but x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2 and z1 minus z2. Is it clear? Means coordinates of x and y subtraction. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ, ತುಂಬ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ, P1 1 2 3 4 5 6 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ DRs ಏನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಯೋರ್ DRs. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ DR ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ DCs ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀರಾ? ಸೊ DCs ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ DRs. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ A1, B1 and C1. Okay, then we will find out PQ. Okay, the magnitude of the distance, magnitude of the vector PQ. ಈಗ PQ vector ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ magnitude is nothing but square root of, that is nothing but the distance between the 2 points. So PQ is, we know the distance formula, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. First PQ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. If they give you 2 points, just find PQ, or if you want to name it as AB, just find AB. Okay, therefore the DCs are given by elements. Okay, so what is element? Either you will take actually x2 minus x1 by what? PQ. Okay, similarly y2 minus y1 by PQ and z2 minus z1 by PQ. Okay, this is how you find out the DCs if the line joining 2 points are given. Or else the other set, I told you there are 2 sets of DCs. The other set is nothing but, LMN is nothing but x1 minus x2 by PQ, okay, y1 minus y2 by PQ and z1 minus Z2 by PQ. Now you might be wondering, sir, ಎರಡು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಾ? No, just if you write plus or minus, ಇದು ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. Only thing is sign difference. Okay, so that is why the pairs of DCs are taken by plus or minus signs. Is it clear? Clear ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ? ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೇನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆರಿಫೈ ದೇರ್. ಓಕೆ, so because I'm just giving you the theory there, problems will be worked out later. Okay, shall we move on to the next one? So next one is all about the regular formulas. Equation of a line in space. So equation of a line in space, dear students, I hope you remember this. We've already derived the derivations. Okay, first one is equation of a line passing through a given point and parallel to a vector. So let me consider this is the line passing through a point A anta tagolana, x1, y1, z1, whose position vector is A. And if I consider another point P general, ನನ್ನ derivations already ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. I'm not going to derive here because we've already derived in detail in the previous videos. Okay, so what is the vector equation of the line passing through a point and parallel to a vector ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the vector equation will be R is equal to vector A plus lambda times vector B. Please remember this. This is the vector equation of the line passing through a point and parallel to a vector B, which is parallel vector. Remember, vector B is the parallel vector. Okay, in the same way, okay, so what is the equation of the line in Cartesian form? So we have already derived. So the Cartesian form equation is actually you get x minus x1 by A, that is nothing but y minus y1 by B, that is equal to z minus z1 by C. Okay, ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂತು? We have already seen it in the derivations. Okay, I hope you don't have any doubts here. Okay, remember ABCs are DRs of the given line. ಯಾವುದು? Vector which is parallel. Okay, explanation already ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. Okay, sometimes DRs ಕೊಡೋ ಬದಲು ಆ ಲೈನ್ನ DCs ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು the required equation will be x minus x1 by L, that is nothing but y minus y1 by M, that is equal to z minus z1 by N. Okay, the denominators will be the DRs or sometimes it is DCs. Okay, please remember dear students, in between it is equals, is equal to ಇದೆ, plus ಅಥವಾ minus ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, remember, because why I am going without giving you any explanation here is because the derivations also already been derived in detail. Okay, so I hope you remember this formula and we shall move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the required formula. So the second equation is equation of a line passing through two given points. We know this. We consider 2 points A and B, which is x1, y1, z1, position vector is A, and B is x2, y2, z2, position vector is B. P is a general point whose points are x, y, z, position vector is R. Derivation ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? It's a 5-marker question. Please remember that. Now, equation of a line passing through two given points, their vector form is R is equal to A vector A plus lambda times, remember, vector B minus A. First equation, second equation are very similar. The first one was R is equal to A plus lambda B. Here R is equal to A plus lambda times B minus A. Remember, what is lambda? Lambda is some real number. Okay, it's a constant. You need not worry. Okay, in the same way, what is the equation of the line passing through 2 points? Okay, ನೀವು straight line ಅಲ್ಲಿ first PUC ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ x1 by x2 minus x1. Do you remember? Similarly, y minus y1 by y2 minus y1, and that is same as z minus z1 by z2 minus z1. Again here the in between sign is equals. Please remember, in equation of a straight line passing through 2-point form, 2-point form is ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? x minus x1 by x2 minus x1, that is equal to y minus y1 by y2 minus y1. Because this is a 3-dimensional plane, there is another axis z, so it is an extension. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಝೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನೀವು ಎರಡೂ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Sometimes they'll give you the Cartesian form and ask you to convert it into vector form, or give you vector form, ask you to convert it into Cartesian form. Only if you remember both, you will be able to solve the problems. Okay, so ಅವನು ಡೆರಿವೇಶನು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ then your problems will be on with respect to lines. So please remember the formulas, both vectors and Cartesian form. Okay, is it clear? So if you have any small doubt, go back and once again watch the derivations. Okay, now let's go to the next formula. Dear students, this is a very important formula. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ತುಂಬ ಸರಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಟೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ x, y and z axis. I am considering a line L1 and considering a line L2. Let theta be the angle made by the line L1 and L2. Then what is the formula to find the angle between the two lines? So lines and takshana, let us write the equation of the lines. Okay, sometimes in ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. If it is in vector form, then the lines will be of the form a1 plus lambda times b1, or it would be x minus x1 by a1, that is equal to y minus y1 by b1, that is nothing but z minus z1 by c1. Okay, and the another line, let me say the line 2. Okay, the Cartesian or vector equation would be a2 plus lambda b2. Okay, this is my vector form, or the Cartesian form would be x minus x2 by a2, that is same as y minus y2 by b2, because this line will be passing through another point. Okay, and z minus z2 by c2. Please remember. Okay, sometimes he'll give you the equation lines in vector form and ask you to find the equation of the line, or he will give you the Cartesian form and then ask you to find the equation of the line. You should be ready in both the cases. Okay, now I'm going to give you the formula. This formula is very similar to your vectors formula. So the angle between the two lines is given by cos theta. This is nothing but modulus of vector b1 dot vector b2. So b1 dot b2 divided by magnitude of b1 into magnitude of b2. So this is the formula to find the angle between the two lines in vector form. Okay, so if they give you the lines in Cartesian form and ask you to find the angle between them, even then it is same. Cartesian form kottidre, you can convert it into vector form and use this. Otherwise, you can use the formula in vector form. This looks nodokke ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉದ್ದ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but it's very simple. So a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2. What is actually a1 a2 b1 b2 c1 c2? That is nothing but the dot product between two vectors, isn't it? Correct alva? It is the dot product between two vectors, and magnitude of b1 would be, we all know, it is a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square into magnitude of b2 is a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. Now look here, buy one get one free. Mathematics ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಆಫರ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. That is why I fell in love with mathematics, because if you remember this formula, then this formula will directly follow it. Oh, is it clear? One is in vector form, the other one is in Cartesian form. Remember students, this is a very important formula. Your 2 mark questions has been asked on this formula only. Okay, and one small change, dear students, r is equal to a plus lambda b, and this here actually it will be another constant. Let me say this constant as mu. Okay, usually ಎರಡನೇ ಏನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ 1 ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ 2 ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲು ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. Is it clear? Now with the continued part of this, now remember two lines with DRs A1 B1 C1 and A2 B2 C2. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೋಡಿರೋ ಲೈನ್ಸು, they are perpendicular. What do you mean by perpendicular? Perpendicular means angle between them is what? 90 degrees. Correct? Now actually you will get cos theta. What is actually cos theta? This will imply cos theta is nothing but cos 90. Sorry. Cos theta is cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So that is, so what is the condition for the two lines to be what? Perpendicular. What is the condition is, remember, your A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2 will be equal to 0. Okay, ಸೊ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅವನು ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ವೆದರ್ ದಿ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೇಸ್? A1 A2 ಪ್ಲಸ್ B1 B2 ಪ್ಲಸ್ C1 C2 ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0. ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇತ್ತು. A1 A2 ಪ್ಲಸ್ B1 B2 ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0 ಇತ್ತು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್. ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರೆ 3D ಕೂಡ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, now in the same way, what is the condition for the lines are parallel? If the lines are parallel, actually you will get theta is equal to 0. This will imply cos theta is nothing but cos 0. So cos 0 is nothing but 1. Okay, that is, so the required condition is, remember, A1 by A2 will be equal to B1 by B2, that is equal to C1 by C2. So this is the condition for the two lines to be parallel. Is it clear? ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು show that they are parallel ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. So you should remember this condition. Even there, straight line ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 dimensionally, the condition is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. Because it is 3D, you will also have C1 by C2 also. Okay? One more note, dear students, if the lines ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಈ ಥರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್ ಬದಲು ಡಿ ಸಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, then remember, if two lines are given in this form or two lines, then the acute angle between the two lines, remember, if the lines are given in this form, then the acute angle between two lines is given by cos theta, that is nothing but magnitude of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. So this is the formula to find the acute angle between the two lines, which is given in this form, where x1 x2 by a1 drs ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲ್ಲ, ಲೈನ್ಸ್ನ ಡಿ ಸಿಯಿಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್, ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, next, in equation of a lines, this is a small last part where we have skew lines. So you should know what is a skew line. Skew lines are line in space which are neither parallel nor intersecting. Okay, plane ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಐದರ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ intersect somewhere. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ two lines which will neither intersect nor are parallel. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಇಂಟರ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, is it clear? So these are called skew lines. So skew lines idre adara distance between them kanidiyokunu one formula ide. So that is what we are going to see here. Shortest distance between skew lines. So I'm taking two lines. Okay, now I want the shortest distance. I cannot consider, see, there are so many distance between two lines. So PQ is the distance. I have ST, and if I take a distance here, I have another distance also. But I always consider the shortest distance between two skew lines. Okay, and remember, the lines are of the form L1 is equal to R is equal to A1 plus lambda B1, and L2 is equal to R is equal to A2 plus mu times B2. If this is the two lines, then the vector equation of angle between the two lines, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ನಿಮ್ಮ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಸೊ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಆಫ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ B2 cross B1 or B1 cross B2. Sorry students, it is always B1 cross B2. Okay, so B1 cross B2 dot product with A2 minus A1. Okay, nimge one more benefit is, it is always better for you if you remember the vector form, because ee formula Cartesian form alli nodidre ನೀವು ಗಾಬರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೀರಾ. Okay, but don't worry, when we solve the problems you can easily understand there. Okay, so the formula vector form of distance between two skew lines is B1 cross B2 dot A2 minus A1 divided by magnitude of this, ಯಾವುದು B1 ಕ್ರಾಸ್ B2 ಒಂದು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡಿಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇನ್ ಕಾರ್ಟೇಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ is given by distance d is equal to, let me take the modulus, dot product alva, ಫಸ್ಟು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1 ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ DRs ಆಫ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 ಇದರ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್, ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೆಂತಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಬಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ b1 c2 ಮೈನಸ್ b2 c1 ಹೋಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ c1 a2 ಮೈನಸ್ c2 a1 ಹೋಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ a1 b2 minus a2 b1 whole square. Okay, so this is the determinant, modulus. So this is the formula in Cartesian form. Okay, please try to remember this, but at least vector form ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಕು. when I solve you the 3 mark questions in that video, you will see how to find out in Cartesian form. Okay, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, he will just ask you to find the distance between two skew lines ಅಂತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನಾವು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಐ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್. Now here you can see here the two lines are not parallel. Okay, now what if the two lines are parallel? Okay, distance between parallel lines. So consider first line L1 is r is equal to a1 plus lambda b1. Okay, and or ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ x minus x1 by a, y minus y1 by b, z minus z1 by c. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸಾರಿ ಇದು b1 ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ದ ಟೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ b ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಸೇಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನೋಡಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್, ಸೊ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ r is equal to a1 plus lambda b and r2 is equal to r is equal to a plus, ಇದು r ಬೇಡ, r2 ಬೇಡ, a2 plus lambda b ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್, x minus x1 by a, y minus y1 by b, z minus z1 by c. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿಸ್ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್ ಇದವೋ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿ ಆರ್ಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಲೈನ್ದು ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವು ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಅಂತ ಲೆಕ್ಕ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ನಾವು ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್, ಈ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ b1 ಕ್ರಾಸ್ b2 ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಒಂದೇ b ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ b. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ b ಕ್ರಾಸ್ a2 ಮೈನಸ್ a1. ಸೊ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ b ಕ್ರಾಸ್ a2 ಮೈನಸ್ a1 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ b1 ಕ್ರಾಸ್ b2 ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದೇ ಒಂದೇ b ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ b. ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಒಂದು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ತಲೆನೋವು ಬೇಡ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಟೀಷಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ನೌ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮುಗಿದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 1. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್ ಪರ್ಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಈಗ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇನ್ ಟೂ ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್. ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಟೂ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಲೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಜನರಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ತುಂಬ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್, ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ವೆಲ್. ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಂಬ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, fine students, so thank you for watching the video. We'll meet you again in the second part of the basics of 3D. Until then, take care and bye.
ಯಾರು 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 ಯಾರಿಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು, ನೂರು 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 ಬದುಕೋ ದಾರಿ ನೂರು ನೂರು. ಯಾರು 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 ಯಾರಿಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು, ನೂರು 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 ಬದುಕೋ ದಾರಿ ನೂರು ನೂರು. ಬೆಳೆಯೋನೆಂದು ಸೋಲೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಲಿತೋನೆಂದು ಬಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ತುಳಿಯೋನೆಂದು ಉಳಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರನ್ಯಾರು ಬೆಳೆಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋರಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲೇನಲ್ಲ. ಭೂಮಿ